Hey everybody, I'm Kai. I'm going to be doing a presentation on my project proposal for the Manx language. So jumping into background real quick, Manx is spoken pretty much only on the Isle of Man, which is in the United Kingdom, and I'll show on a map in a second exactly where that is. So it's also a member of the Celtic language family, which is in the Indo-European language family. And that means that it's very closely related to Irish and also related to languages like Welsh and Breton. So a lot of the Gaelic languages of the region. Right now, it's considered reawakening, mainly because it has gone through a significant decline in speaker population recently. But that was followed by a revival soon after, and that's why we have around 1,600 speakers on the island as a whole. So looking here at the map, we can see the Isle of Man is right in between the islands of Ireland and Great Britain. So even though it's really small, it has a very central position between the two. As I said before, there has been a pretty significant revival effort going on, and this followed the death of Ned Madrell, who was the last native speaker of Manx, which occurred in 1974. Now, Ned Madrell's death actually caused UNESCO to much later declare the language as extinct in 2009, but it wasn't very accurate because at the time there were still 1,500 speakers on the island, and there was also a revival effort which was ongoing while they declared that. Kind of weird. So this revival effort has been ongoing for a while, and it's mainly focused on the creation of schools, like the Bunscoil Gaelic, which is the Manx Gaelic school. And its primary focus is to teach in Manx and create fluent speakers and increase the population of fluent speakers as much as it can. And so far, it's been quite successful. And because of that, the Manx government has actually taken control of the school, of the Manx Gaelic school, and increased its accessibility, funds, and hopefully that will bolster the revival effort as a whole. Now, moving on to the decline, a lot more depressing. Um, Basically, the reason why the decline happened in the first place was because man has been under the control of the British Empire since the 14th century. And the British Empire had this policy of Anglicization, which basically eliminated all the Gaelic languages from the region, like Irish, Manx, and Scottish Gaelic. So even before that, missionaries, Catholic missionaries, came to Ireland and Man and eliminated a lot of the local beliefs, Celtic beliefs. And those beliefs have remained on in folklore and just popular belief. So I'm going to be covering a lot of that in my project. And I'm going to be doing an illustrated catalog about all of the Manx folklore and having accompanied descriptions in Manx. The written portion of the creative project is going to be on the decline of Manx folklore and the language, the similarities that occur between Man and Ireland, and also a lot about the revival efforts which are currently going on. So finally, just a little bit about the design of the catalog. I'm going to be illustrating a lot of the main characters and creatures that occur in Manx folklore. One of the main ones being Manon MacLear, who was thought to be the most prominent king of Man and also its namesake. But I'm also going to talk about different folklore creatures like fairies and magicians and mermaids. So all of these are going to have their descriptions in Manx about whatever myths they were in and any characteristics they have. And all of this art is going to be done in the medieval Manx and English style. So lastly, just going to references, I'm mainly going to be using Arthur William Moore's book, The Folklore of the Isle of Man, which is the second one from the bottom. And this is actually like a very thorough collection of all of the folklore from the Isle of Man around the very end of the 19th century. A side note, Arthur William Moore was the founder of the Manx Language Society, which kind of started the whole revival effort. So a lot of what I'm talking about is related to him. Very interesting stuff. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you later.